Heyo, and for today's video I am doing a birthday gift for my father because this past Monday, the 29th, he turned 53. Yay! It kind of sucks always having like a December birthday. Like, he used to tell me that his aunt would get him a sweater for Christmas and then tell him, well, half the sweater is for your birthday and the other half is for Christmas. Like, no. So we always made it a point growing up to make sure to separate his Christmas and his birthday. And the way I like to do that is I will buy him something for Christmas and then I will make him something for his birthday, or vice versa, depending on the situation this year. But now this year I actually had money and I was planning stuff, so I was super excited that I was able to buy him something for Christmas and then make him something for his birthday. And fun fact about my dad is that he's always been a car guy. He's always had a car he's working on, or he's been looking at cars. And just this year he had recently sold his 1987 Chevy Camaro that he has had for the past almost 18 years. It was kind of bittersweet to see it go. He loved that car. He put a lot of work into it, but over the last 5 years, it just kind of fell apart. Literally, there was a hole in it so bad that grass was growing up, and you could see it if you looked in the window. So he sold it, and now he's actively looking for another car, and he wants a garage. We're gonna be moving soon, so there's gonna be like a different studio tour this year, hopefully. But we're looking for a house with a garage that he could store a project car in. He's looking at this nice Firebird. I think he's gonna get it. So I know he wants this garage, and kind of the theme the other kids did for Christmas, I didn't know they were doing it, was everybody got him a sign for his new garage. Like, my brother got one that said, it's 420 somewhere. Someone said, my awesome kids got me this sign, something like that. But I didn't know they were doing that for Christmas because I was making one for his birthday. He wants to put that stuff in his new garage, but right now he has a room in the basement where we used to keep our dog before he passed away, if you remember that from about 5 years ago. And he uses that as his little man cave. Like, he set up a TV in our old PlayStation 2. He's been playing Need for Speed. He has RC cars that he's always working on. He loves his RC cars. He'll buy them, flip them, sell parts, make parts. It's cute. He has a whole thing in there. He has a lamp that he made out of spare card parts that he got from the junkyard. He has a Lazy Susan that he made from spare parts from the junkyard. Let me tell you, this man loves his cars. So I had this great idea to make him a sign with our last name and body shop. And as you will come to find out, our last name is Burbo. And I actually had a coworker at work. I made his birthday cake. Well, I placed an order for his birthday cake. My last name was on the cake. And one of my coworkers was in the cooler with me, grabbing something like from a different department. She didn't know my last name, but she looks at the cake and she goes, Burbo? That's tragic. And I kind of teased her. I stood there, I was like, you're really gonna make fun of my dad's last name on his birthday? And she was like, no, it could be worse. And I'm like, girl, I'm teasing, it's fine. But yeah, so the idea for this was to make a sign that says Burbo Body Shop, because he's always doing something with cars in their body, so why not? I thought it was cute. And the sign was just absolutely perfect. Like, I had this whole idea in my head, and the first layout I wanted it, the store didn't have the stuff. I got all of the wood from this from the dollar store, believe it or not. The Dollar Tree, ever since they went up to $1.25, some stuff's going up to $1.50 soon, and I've been pissed. But they have up to their craft section. I've gotten tempera paint from there, that kind of sucks. But I ended up getting this big square piece of wood, and then they had these things called craft woods, and they just look like pieces of like scrap yard wood, but they're really nice. Like, for $1.25, they have a bunch of different sizes. So I picked out two because I know I wanted it to have like this 3D element, and I wanted it to be staggered. So I put all the pieces of wood together, took a picture of how I wanted it to look, and then I bought it, and I decided to put it together with wood glue. And for $1.25, that is some really damn good wood glue. And I was so proud that everything was the dollar store, but it was still like that wood color. And I know I wanted the back to be this warm color, but I didn't want it to look like paint. I wanted it to look like a wood stain. So I just took my craft paints, watered them down. I took like a red, a purple, a grayish brown, definitely some black. I used the black to mute it, water it down, and it worked just like a wood stain, kind of, except more matte. So I did the entire back part of the wood in this wood stainy brownish red color, with some streaks of purple and then that taupe color, or tan according to Craftsmart. And then I did the front pieces a more yellowy color. It's still warm, but it's more on the yellow side of warm instead of like the reddish purpley side of warm, because I wanted it to look like two different pieces of wood. I mean, they were 2 different pieces of wood, but I wanted to pop on that, if that makes sense. So I did that, and then I'm thinking, what does a body shop look like? Because I'm looking up body shop signs, and first of all, they're all metal or neon, none of what I originally wanted them to look like. I'm thinking like ye old like trailer, but yeah, no. So I just went with the wood anyway. But I decided to put some oil splatters on there, and the way I did the oil splatter was I just took some black paint, and at first I watered it down so it was more liquidy because I was going to splatter it, and then I decided not to splatter it, but I just painted the splatter. Then I went and did some metallic shine paint, because oil, when you see it on the ground, it has a slick to it. So I took some of that, water with my watered down black paint, mixed it together, and it stayed black with the sheen, which I loved. And I did the splats and then thought I probably should have done the lettering first, because the oil is supposed to go over the letters. But it worked out for what I wanted it to. Okay, I have no idea where I left off. My last recording said my iPhone storage was full when it's not, and I was in the middle of it, but whatever. I think I was talking about the oil splatters, how I just did the black and it made it look shiny, which was really cool. But yeah, now I'm pissed off. But I definitely should have done the lettering first before I did the oil splatters, just because the oil is supposed to go over the letters. And I opened up my 5-year-old bottle of crimson paint, and it was pure liquid. It was a little transparent, but it was mostly, yeah, no, actually it was a lot transparent. I ended up grabbing my Soho brand heavy body acrylic, which is more of like a pinky red, which I mixed it with the crimson of the apple barrel, and it made the perfect viscosity because I hate heavy body paint. It's too textured, it dries too fast, and I just feel you're never getting the right amount of paint and you're wasting a lot of it. It's either too much or too little. So I mixed it all together and it was perfect at the letters, and I'm looking at it, I looked back and I thought this looks plain as hell. So I got a mini wrench. I don't know where it came from. In the house it came from something, but we have like 10 of them. So I took one of the mini wrenches and I scored the back of it with this glass etcher, metal etcher, because I was not going upstairs to get super glue because I was doing this tired. So I decided to just use the wood glue, and that worked very, very well. As I mentioned, that was very good wood glue. But I also used that real wrench because I was like, oh, is this wood glue gonna stick to this metal and the wood? It did, because the dollar store didn't have like mechanic toolkits or like construction toolkits or anything. They had doctor's kits, they had chef's kit. They did not have like blue collar jobs, if that makes sense. I feel like they used to have construction kits, they used to have mechanics kits, but now they just don't. And I'm like, whatever, like homophobic if you ask me. It still looked kind of plain, so I took some gemstones I also got from the dollar store, these like little pinky ones, and I painted some of them with the oil slick colors and then some silver. And I made these little screws, still look plain. Grabbed a paint marker, and my dad is a Chevy guy, so of course I wrote no Fords on it, because Fords, sorry, you suck. We are a Chevy household, and we will forever and always be a Chevy household. But this is the final painting. I gave it to my dad on his birthday, and he absolutely loved it. And now I have to go clean up all this paint mess, because there's just stuff everywhere, because every time I start a painting, my room goes to hell. So I'm going to get going on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. The link to my Instagram to check out my art memes and my gel pen illustrations are down below, and to keep up with whatever's going on in my life if I complain about my job. And then the link to my Etsy to support a small business is down below. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week with another painting crafty video. Kinda, sorta. We'll figure it out.